जय श्री माता जी। सभी का स्वागत है आज शाम के मेडिटेशन सेंटर में। We welcome everyone in today's Surge Yoga Meditation Center. We request everyone to please be seated in a quiet and silent place where no one disturbs you while you are meditating. आप सभी से निवेदन है कि आप कृपया कर एक ऐसी जगह पे, एक ऐसे प्लेस पे बैठ जाइए जहाँ कुछ देर आप शांति से ध्यान कर। We will all take collective बंधन। हम सभी कलेक्टिव बंधन लेंगे। जिन्होंने भी आज का ये सेशन पहली बार जॉइन किया है, वो कृपया कर हम जो भी स्टेप्स बता रहे हैं, उन्हें फॉलो कीजिए। Now we will all do balancing. First, we will balance our left channel. We will keep our left hand facing towards the screen and right hand on the mother earth. हमारे लेफ्ट चैनल को शुद्ध करने के लिए, संतुलित करने के लिए हमारा लेफ्ट हैंड हमारे स्क्रीन की तरफ रहेगा या श्री माता जी के फोटोग्राफ की तरफ, और राइट हैंड जमीन पर रहेगा। हमारे स्क्रीन पर जो इमेज नंबर 1 है, वैसे हमारे हाथों की पोजीशंस रहेंगे। वी विल ऑल क्लोज आवर आइज। हमारी आंखें बंद रहेगी। हम प्रार्थना करेंगे। श्री माता जी, आप ही हमारे ईड़ा नाड़ी को संतुलित कीजिए। हमारी ईड़ा नाड़ी पर संतुलन प्रदान कीजिए। मदर, प्लीज बैलेंस आवर लेफ्ट चैनल। We will keep all our attention on our left channel. धीरे धीरे हमारा राइट हैंड वापस श्री माता जी की ओर करेंगे। We will bring back we will bring back our right hand on our lap facing towards the screen, and now we will bend our left hand from our elbow facing towards the sky. अब हमारे लेफ्ट हाथ को कोहनी से मोड़ के आकाश की ओर करेंगे। हमारे स्क्रीन पर जो इमेज नंबर 2 दिख रही है, उस तरीके से हमारे हाथों की पोजीशन रहेगी। लेफ्ट हैंड टुवर्ड्स द स्काई एंड राइट हैंड टुवर्ड्स श्री माता जी। हमारी आंखें बंद करेंगे। प्रार्थना करेंगे। श्री माता जी, आप ही हमारे राइट चैनल पर संतुलन प्रदान कीजिए। मदर, प्लीज बैलेंस माय राइट चैनल। We will keep all our attention on our right channel. सारा ध्यान राइट चैनल पे रहेगा। Now we will keep both our hands on our lap, facing towards श्री माता जी. हमारे दोनों हाथों को हमारी गोद में रखेंगे श्री माता जी की ओर. सारा का सारा ध्यान धीरे धीरे हमारे तालु भाग पर लाएंगे, हमारे सहस्त्रार पर. Slowly we will bring all our attention on our fontanel bone area, our Sahasrara chakra. We will all pray, Shri Mataji, please bless me with complete balanced state and complete thoughtless awareness. श्री माता जी, आप ही हमें पूर्ण संतुलन और पूर्ण निर्विचारिता से आशीर्वादित कीजिए. अब हम इसी स्थिति में श्री माता जी की अमृतवाणी सुनेंगे और उसके बाद नए साधकों के लिए
Person who is not a realized soul,
साक्षात्कार
if you
होगा.
ask him to put his hand on your head, he won't feel the cool breeze. But a person who is a realized soul has developed that experiencing power on his hands, he can feel the real cool breeze. Maybe sometimes a person who is not realized, who is a sensitive person might feel. But the amount of feeling the person who has experienced the self will not be discernible in a person who has not got realization. Now this feeling that we have of the vibrations is related to the truth. So now, in the beginning, as I told you, I had 7 hippies and one sensible man with me in England for 4 years, and I was struggling with them. And this gentleman, who was a sensible man, was very much a doubting type, a doubting Thomas. And he said to me, now he's a great Sir Yogi, but at that time. So he said, all right, mother, I want to know what's wrong with my with my father. So I told him, it's very easy, you just put your hands like this and ask the question. He asked the question, what's wrong with my father? And he got a burning on this finger here. These are the centers of your father, all down with very bad bronchitis. This was my sentence. He telephones to his father. The mother came on the phone and she said, your father is down with very bad bronchitis. He was so amazed. He said, now what to do? I said, you can cure him. There's a way. So we have a way of giving vibrations to that center of his father, sitting down in London when the father was in Scotland. After half an hour, the The father got up from the bed and says, I don't know what has happened. I'm feeling perfectly all right. So he just laughed, and that's made him understand that there is a telecommunication which we cannot see in the universe, which works out things. But we have to be there to do it for things, and we take it for granted. But if you show it to a villager, he cannot believe it. And when he will see it, he says, it's very fantastic how it is happening. But you have to put it to the mains, otherwise you don't see it. In the same way, you are to be put to the energy mains, and so that you start feeling, you start getting the full answer to your questions. But the best part of it, that if you see, say, a television, now you watch some television, some drama, but you don't see that the and do something to you. But here, when you just project your attention to anyone and give it a little protection, you are amazed that these vibrations act on that person, as if the actors come out of the television and try to help you out. It's so wonderful as that, and it has happened. It is worth trying. You have those powers. You know that our powers that we know as human beings are so limited, are so little, like an iceberg, which is a very wee bit comes out, the rest of it is immersed inside. In the same way, our own powers are immersed. So the power of collective consciousness, that one gets. And it is to be practiced, to be understood in its all aspects and dimensions. Become part and parcel of the primordial being. If you become part and parcel, if my hand, if supposing my finger is paining, I rub it off and it is all right. No obligation to it. It's my own finger. When everybody is a part and parcel of your being, who is the other? If you are helping somebody, it's not you are helping yourself, because it's you who you are helping. So the idea of ego doesn't come that I have tried to help this man, I have tried to do for this man, I have done this for him. None of these ideas. And the other one also doesn't feel that kind of a burden of obligation. So what will you pay? What will you pay to this finger if this hand rubs this? It's just automatic and just your own. That is the expansion of your being. That's the expansion of your heart. That's the expansion of your awareness, of your chitta, as they call, of your attention. Attention becomes so much expanded. Like my granddaughter, who was only about 4 years of age, and we had taken her to the airport, and she was very busy like this. So we asked her, what are you doing? Her mother couldn't understand. So she said, I'm trying to tie up these people. They are very scattered brains. I'm trying to tie up their brains. It's very scattered brains. All of them are running up and down, which is a fact. And she was so busy, and nobody could talk to her because she said, I'm busy just now. Don't talk to me. I'm very busy. And a child like that age could say all those things. And the truth is so evident in their minds. Another child of mine, who is a grandchild, who is another realized soul. All my 4 grandchildren are born realized and tremendous people. So she went to Ladakh once, and there was one Lama fellow. These Lamas are another hoax. And he was sitting there with a big dress. Everybody was touching his feet, and because after all everybody was touching the feet, so my daughter and son-in-law felt embarrassed. They also went and touched the feet. She couldn't bear it. She couldn't bear that. She went and stood before him with her both hands. She locked them at the back, and she stood up and she said, what do you mean? Because you are wearing this big dress, we call it choga, it's a big dress, and because you have shaved your hair, you think you are a realized soul. You are not. You have no business to ask people to touch your feet. Such a little girl like that stood up. And once I remember another time, we had a big program in India when there is a master who died. I think you must have heard his name also, Raman Maharshi. And on his death, they invited me as a chief guest. I was to speak. But we had other horrible people also there, somebody from Ramakrishna Ashram and this and that. They were sitting. So one fellow with the Ramakrishna Ashram was wearing a red robe and sitting there. So one of my son-in-law, my son-in-law and other people were in the group, in the they were sitting on the first row, the grandchildren. And suddenly one of them got up and he said, "Grandmother, please ask this man in the maxi to get out. He's giving all heat to us." And everybody smiled and laughed, because there were many Saj Yogis there who came and they just understood it, that get rid of this fellow with the maxi out, because he's too much of it. And this fellow thought no end of himself, you see. He thought he was a great man because he was wearing a maxi in that color and he was giving a big lecture without understanding what he was talking. Just he was going round and round the bush without knowing that he's not even a realized soul and he has no business to talk about God. So the children who are realized souls are today born in every country. I know I saw the other day going through the market, there are many children who are born realized. But if the parents are not realized souls, they will never understand their children or their grandchildren. And it may be that you may really destroy their sensitivity. So it is important that the elders must have a full understanding of their children, the next generation, which is going to be very powerful. You will see these children when they will grow, they will understand Sahaja Yoga and Kundalini so well that you will be amazed. For example, a child puts his finger or a thumb in the mouth, people say it's something to do with sex, as Mr. Freud was nothing but a sex point. He was not a human being even also, I think. So, it's not the case. The child, if he's a realized soul, he's pointing it out to the chakras. If a child comes here, he's a realized soul, and if somebody is suffering from a particular trouble, he immediately put that particular finger in the mouth. Even if you have 10 children and tie up their eyes and ask them, what's wrong with this fellow? They'll put out one finger or two fingers, whatever are burning, because it is such a actual experience of that person's chakras, and they will immediately say these two are burning or these three are burning, and all of them will say the same thing. So it is the knowledge of your own central nervous system. It is not a knowledge which is given to you in your brain or just to be pushed into your ideas. It's a factual thing that you know. Like you all know this is wood. All know this is wood, made of wood. In the same way, you will know the truth, because you become absolutely the absolute. The absolute. You know the absolute. There is no more any relative world left. You don't live in the relative world. This may be good and that may be good. This could be all right or that could be all right. That doesn't come. Whatever is good, whatever is bad. You don't have to even think of temptations. Your temptations drop out very fast. All your habits drop out very fast. For example, Brian himself, who spoke first of here, was a smoker and used to smoke a lot, and he had a very bad trouble with the smoking. And next day, he dropped his smoking. Next day, you won't believe, he dropped his smoking. He had other problem that he had crutches and he just could not walk even an inch without the crutches, hanging onto the crutches like that. Only with the crutches, he could not move his legs at all. Today, he's standing on his legs and you see he's walking. This, I did not do anything. It just worked through the power of yourself. Yourself itself cures you and gives you powers to cure others. But in the beginning, you don't have faith in yourself. Even if I say that you can cure others, you will not cure. This is a big problem, that one doesn't assume the powers that they have, doesn't believe in it. Once I was traveling by a ship, and there was the captain who got his realization. And they told me that there's one fellow who has got pneumonia because he entered into the freezing room. They have a freezers, just like a room. And he entered into it suddenly, so he got pneumonia and he was gasping. And they had to send an SOS to get some doctor. So I told the captain, I can go and cure him. He said, no, mother, why should you go? After all, you see, I was the wife of the, owners, this thing and all that. So they found it was too much for me to go down 4 or 5 stories to the freezing room to save this fellow. So I said, all right, Captain, you are a realized soul. Why don't you do it? A simple thing, simple method I tell you, and he'll be all right. He said, how can I? I am not. I am just, yesterday only I got my realization. How can I? I said, all right, now he's going to die if you don't do it. So please try. If it doesn't work out, I'll come down. So he went down. Out of that compassion, he went down. And he came up laughing, Mother, I've cured him. He's all right. I said, now, please believe that you are now a yogi. You are a realized soul. We do not believe in ourselves. We doubt ourselves more than anybody else. And this is the biggest problem, that we want to have a guru because we think, all right, we'll believe in this person. He goes to hell, we go to hell with him. If he goes to heaven, we'll go to heaven with him. Pay some money and have somebody on whom we can rely. But now rely upon yourself. Stand on your own feet. Because you are the enlightened ones. You are the Buddhas. You are the ones who have achieved enlightenment. Don't depend on anybody else. There is no guru needed. You yourself can know through vibrations what has to be done. Like one gentleman who got his realization, he had no job. So he said, Mother, what should I do? I said, why don't you become an interior decorator? He was quite surprised. He said, Mother, I have done economics, but I have never done this. I don't know a wood from another wood. What am I to do? I said, just see vibrations and do it. And he became a very rich man. He'll be coming now to Australia to join us in Sydney. But this is what happens, that once you have vibrations, immediately you know what is to be done, what will create the right thing for you. This is absolutely easy to do if you assume your powers. But if you are defiant, oh, how can I do it? It's better Mother does it or somebody else does it. Then it doesn't work out. But if you say, all right, I am a yogi and I can do it. You see, these gurus are not even realized souls. Some of them are coming from jail. They have no bona fides. They are horrid people. And imagine what organizations they have built. Thousands and thousands of people, just like this. A servant coming out of some place becomes a big guru in Germany or somewhere, earns 59 Rolls Royces. What do you say to such a thing? Because they are bumptious. You are not to be bumptious, but believe that now you have got your powers. And when you have your powers, use them. Because that's the greatest joy, when you see your compassion working it out, when you see people get their realization. Every realization you feel as if you are made one flower into a fruit. And you feel so surprised first at yourself and then at the divine grace that He has made you so great and you have been not aware of it, that you can do living work. These vibrations, when given to the plants, supposing the plant is dying, like in Geneva, we have a very beautiful ashram where they had a tree which was dying, and they were about to cut it out. They said, let's try the vibrations on it. And when I went there, the tree was lush, beautiful. But best was they had such huge, big cherries for me to eat. And this was the first time, they said, when we gave vibration, such big cherries came, and so many that there were at least 500 people altogether. We all ate and ate and ate, and it would not finish. And I like cherries. And they said, Mother, you better take it with you to England. I said, that's too much now. He said, still they are not going to finish, so better take some of them with you to England. Especially Switzerland is a place where they don't grow very big cherries. But such big cherries. You see, I have some cherries that you will say, we have never seen such nice and tasty cherries. I have told you, if you give these vibrations to anything like a vegetable plant or any crop, the crops multiply in its product. Not only that, but the crops are not hybrid crops. Without giving any fertilizer or giving any using a hybrid thing, you can use just the ordinary seeds and can work it out. Now, what has happened, by the use of these ordinary seeds, the seeds have become weak. And that's why we have to have hybrid things, artificially strengthened seeds. But when you give vibrations to these crops, what happens, that these crops get the vital energy within themselves and they become like original ones. And they start producing tremendous amount of grains. there is a university in Rauri where people have experimented in the agriculture field. I was told that New Zealand is an agricultural land. We have not to play into the hands of any big organizations who are selling us these hybrid seeds which cannot be used. If the plant even gives you any amount of seeds, we cannot use them for replanting. But the seeds which are natural, if you vibrate them and put them in the soil, you'll be surprised. You will get, sometimes the results are at least 10 times more. One gentleman in Austria has experimented with that, and he has shown pictures and photographs, and we have sent them to India. India is a better country to understand Sahaja Yoga because even the government understands, even the public understands, and everybody is helping us very much. In Delhi University, we have got a PhD. After doing MBBS, they have to do PhD, a doctorate in Sahaja Yoga. Even in London, we have got in Cambridge a subject called PhD in Sahaja Yoga. This one also thanks to some Americans' efforts that in American University they have also accepted in New York. So you can imagine how far it has gone in some places as far as the scientific understanding of Sahaja Yoga is concerned. But the basics have to be first understood. If you understand the basic, that it is the compassion of God that works it out, and that we have to be compassionate people. I will tell you, as you see today, Dr. Reeves, he was a very influential man. He's done PhDs in 3 subjects, and he's also a doctor, and he was a diplomat, and this and that. And when he came to me, he was riding a very high horse. But after realization, he's so changed. He's become such a beautiful person. He's so changed. All his temperament, everything changed. He's such a nice person now that people can't believe he's the same. You change in such a way that you become a personality which is magnetic and loving and affectionate, patient, tolerance, and peaceful personality. Now also we are having some schools. Even in Australia we have a school for children, and the report of the school was thus that the children are extremely peaceful, extremely obedient, and very disciplined. They will not take to drugs, they will not take to wrong things, they will not do thieving. We don't have to tell them. They have no temptations, they are satisfied souls. They are not going to nag you, they are not going to bother you. They are going to look after you, and they are going to respect you. This is what comes out of Sahaja Yoga schools. We are having schools even in Switzerland and everywhere. We have schools for such children, and it is amazing how the children are. They are beautiful children, extremely beautiful. As the human beings become beautiful in their own glory, they rise, the children also. And children really are remarkable, remarkable people. If you see them, you'll be amazed. Everyone you will find is a saint and talks like some great saint like Kabira or Nanaka. They talk so big. We cannot understand how these little things have so much of sense. For example, one more thing I'll tell you about my grandchild, which was the youngest. She was about 3 years of age, and she told her mother, "Mother, you are now practicing homeopathy. You were born in allopathy, then you practicing homeopathy, then you will practice jumbopathy, then will be combopathy. But I will never do all these things because I was born in God, and God will cure me, and I live in God." So she said, "Why not you?" The mother said, "Why not? You may also change." She said, "How can I? Because God never changes." What a fundamental understanding about life. And this is what happens. And even a ordinary fisherman you meet who is a real asshole, if you meet an ordinary bullock cart driver, once I was going with a bullock cart, on a bullock cart, and he was talking, I felt this is some great Markandeya or some great William Blake is talking to me. Such beautiful things he was saying. So I said, "How do you know all these things?" He had never been to a university. He said, "Why? I know because I know God. Because it is all in my brain. It all comes to me." So all the subtler things that are in your brain come to light, and you become really a very subtle personality. But first of all, you must assume the power. So you become collectively conscious. Your attention becomes collectively conscious. Then you become the truth. Because you know the truth, you become the truth. You cannot tolerate anything that is not the truth. All falsehood drops off, all corruption drops out, all kinds of funny things we do out of insecurity drop out, our health improves. So what happens to us that we become a personality who has got the truth within, but we are very humble. We are extremely humble. We do not want to push people into it. We do not want to force them anything. But we see the truth clearly. As a witness, we know this is the truth. And nothing can disturb us. As in the life of Christ, you see, he saw a prostitute being stoned. अब शांतिपूर्वक सब लोग बैठना है और सब लोग मन में विश्वास रखें कि आप सबकी जागृति आज इस वक्त होने वाली है। मतलब ये कि अपने में दोष मत देखिए इस वक्त। कोई लोग सोचने लगते हैं मेरी कैसी जागृति होगी, मैंने ये पाप किया, मैंने वो पाप किया, और बताने वाले भी बताते रहते हैं कि तुमने ये पूर्व जन्म में कर्म करे, वो पूर्व जन्म में कर्म करे, उसके लिए इतना पैसा दो। ऐसी बेकार बकवास करते हैं लोग। जो ऐसा कहते हैं वही पापी है, समझ लीजिए। इस वक्त आप मेरे सामने कोई भी पापी नहीं, तो कृपया ये सोच लीजिए कि आपके अंदर जो भी दोष है, जो भी हुआ सो बीत गया, उसका अब विचार नहीं करना है। इस वक्त आप शांतिपूर्वक यही सोचिए कि मैं बिल्कुल दोषी नहीं हूँ। ऐसा सोचने से ये चक्र पकड़ता है। जब आप सोचते हैं कि आपके अंदर दोष है तो यहाँ पे ये चक्र पकड़ता है। इससे अनेक बीमारियाँ हो जाती हैं, जिसे अंग्रेजी में स्पॉन्डिलाइटिस कहते हैं, अनजाना कहते हैं, और तरह तरह के प्रकार इस एक चक्र के पकड़ने से होते हैं। तो हो गया सो बीत गया उस वक्त के, अब तक क्यों आप लेकर बैठे? इस वक्त गलती उस वक्त ठीक करना चाहिए। तो अपने को कृपया माफ़ कर दीजिए। और दूसरे ये कि सबको आप एक तरह से पूरी तरह से माफ़ कर दीजिए। उनके बारे में सोचना भी गलत है, क्योंकि उससे भी सर दर्द होता है। अब ये बात सोचिए कि आप माफ़ करें या नहीं करें। आप करते क्या हैं? कुछ तो नहीं करते। क्या करते हैं आप? कुछ नहीं करते। लेकिन जब आप माफ़ नहीं करते तो अपने को छलते हैं, सताते हैं उन लोगों के लिए जिन्होंने आपको सताया। इसलिए आप पूरे मन से इन सब को माफ़ कर दीजिए एक साथ। उसमें उनके बारे में सोचने की भी ज़रूरत है। बाकी आप लोग तो एक बड़े पवित्र देश में रह रहे हैं, तो अपने इस धरती माता की पवित्रता को देखते हुए और उसका अंदाज़ रखते हुए आप लोग कृपया दोनों हाथ मेरी ओर इस तरह से करें। सब लोग थोड़ा ऊपर इस तरह से, दोनों हाथ इस तरह से, क्योंकि ये जो 5 उंगलियां हैं और 6 और 7 और 5, 6 और 7 ये हमारे चक्रों के संकेत। और डॉक्टरी में इसमें इनको सिंपैथेटिक नर्वस सिस्टम के एंडिंग्स माने जाते हैं। तो आप हाथ इस तरह से रखें। इस तरह से हाथ रखने पर चाहे तो आप चश्मा निकाल लें, कोई ज़रूरी नहीं। अब आप मेरी ओर राइट हैंड रखें इस तरह से और सर झुका लें और ये देखें कि ब्रह्मरंध्र से, जिसे कि हम तालू कहते हैं, जो कि एक स्निग्ध सा हिस्सा हमारे सर में बचपन में होता है, उसके ऊपर अधांध्र अपना लेफ्ट हैंड रखें, सर झुका के देखें और देखिए कि आप ही के अंदर से कुछ ठंडी या गर्म हवा जैसी चैतन्य की लहरियां आ रही हैं क्या? देखिए, आदि शंकराचार्य ने कहा था इसका वर्णन सलीलम सलीलम, ठंडी ठंडी हवा। आशा अपने जूते उतार लिए होंगे और जो लोग कुर्सियों पे बैठे हैं दोनों पैर अलग कर ले, बाकी सब ठीक है। अब देखिए आ रहा है क्या, चैतन्य का प्रवाह आप ही के सर से आ रहा है क्या। अब शंका मत करिए ठंडा या गर्म। अगर गर्म है तो इसका मतलब है कि आपने अपने को क्षमा नहीं की या दूसरों को क्षमा नहीं की, तो अभी कृपया आप क्षमा करिए। किसी किसी को दूर तक आता है, किसी को नज़दीक आता है, पर सर को छूते हुए हाथ मत रखिए, ऊपर। अब आप लेफ्ट हैंड मेरी ओर और फिर से सर झुका के राइट हैंड से देखें कि आपके तालू भाग से कुछ ठंडी या गरम गरम हवा आ रही है। मुझे तो लगता है बहुतों को ये लगता है कि आप दोषी हैं, इसलिए भी गरम हवा आ रही है। कृपया ये सोचना बंद करिए। अब एक बार आखिरी बार फिर से राइट हैंड मेरी ओर करें, सब लोग करें और फिर सर झुका के लेफ्ट हैंड से देखें कि ठंडी हवा आ रही है क्या। बहुत से लोग बेकार बातें करते हैं कि कुंडलिनी जागरण से ये होता है, कुछ नहीं होता। आराम मिलता है, तकलीफें जाती हैं, बीमारियां जाती हैं, मानसिक शांति मिलती है, अनेक विध शक्तियां जागृत होती हैं। ये सब ये इसलिए कहते हैं क्योंकि उनको जागृति आती नहीं है। हाँ, अब आप लोग दोनों हाथ सर की तरफ और एक प्रश्न पूछिए। 3 बार एक प्रश्न पूछे कि माँ क्या ये परम चैतन्य है, क्या ये ब्रह्म चैतन्य है। मुझे माँ कहिए, श्री माता जी कहिए, मन में पूछे 3 बार प्रश्न। अब हाथ नीचे ले लीजिए। अब दोनों हाथ मेरी ओर करके इस तरह से और मेरी ओर देखें और सोचिए नहीं। मेरी ओर देखिए और सोचिए नहीं। किसी किसी को नीचे से हवा आ रही हो तो वो नीचे से उठा के ऊपर ले जा सकते हैं, इस तरह से 2-3 बार करने से ऊपर आ जाएगा। मेरी ओर देखें। विचार से परे, माने विचार न करें, वो कर सकते हैं। इस तरह से आप अपने मन से परे उठते हैं और आपके अंदर निर्विचार समाधि स्थापित हो गई। कितने जल्दी हो गई, इसका कारण है ये कलयुग का जोर। हर चीज़ यहाँ जल्दी होती है। अब देख लीजिए, कोई पेड़ हिल नहीं रहा, कोई फूल हिल नहीं रहा, लेकिन ठंडी हवा आ रही। पर जो चीज़ आसानी से मिलती है उसका महत्व हम लोग समझते हैं। इसलिए अब आप अंकुरित हो गए और इस अंकुर का आपको वृक्ष बनाना ही पड़ेगा। यह आपका कर्तव्य है अपने प्रति। और जब ये बनेगा तो आप भी हज़ारों को ठीक कर सकते हैं, यहाँ की दुर्दशा ठीक कर सकते हैं, सब में परिवर्तन ला सकते हैं। ये आपकी जिम्मेदारी हो जाती है। आप सबको मेरा अनंत आशीर्वाद, अनंत आशीर्वाद।
हम सभी कुछ देर ध्यान करेंगे। हम सभी श्री माता जी से प्रार्थना करेंगे। श्री माता जी, आप ही ने हमें आत्म साक्षात्कार दिया, हमसे आज ध्यान करवा लिया, इसलिए आपका धन्यवाद। श्री माता जी, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर गिविंग अस आवर सेल्फ रियलाइजेशन। हम सभी कलेक्टिव बंधन लेंगे। वी विल टेक कलेक्टिव बंधन। आज के सेशन में जो भी साधक पहली बार आया हो और आपको आज ध्यान करके बहुत अच्छा लगा और आप सहज योगा मेडिटेशन कंटिन्यू करना चाहते हैं, तो आप जो वीडियो देख रहे हैं, उसी यूट्यूब वीडियो के डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में एक गूगल फॉर्म का लिंक रहेगा। आप प्लीज़ उसे फिल कर दीजिए ताकि हमारे जो सहज योगा वॉलंटियर्स हैं, वो आपसे कांटेक्ट कर पाए। Anyone who have joined our session, our meditation center for the first time and is interested in continuing Sahaja Yoga meditation further can fill the Google form link which is in the description box of this same YouTube video. Jai Shri Mataji. Thank you so much for joining our session.